So again, this recording only goes to my computer and then to the channel upload that is only distributed to members of this class or members of Olive Online in general. So it is not publicly available, just so that you know. All right. So welcome to our last lesson. Oh, I'm going to miss you guys terribly. So, but here we are, English 10, lesson number 10, and we're going to talk about tea and the future. Okay. So let's get started. So what we're going to do, we're going to look into the future. We're going to talk about describing something very small. Look at the possibilities of what can happen, and as usual, end with a conditional. So, but first, how about a nice cup of tea? So this is a wonderful thing from BBC Radio 4. Those of you who, I did have someone ask me about the sign up that's required. Some parts of the Radio 4 of BBC do require you to create a an account, but it doesn't cost anything and it doesn't track you really in any way. So you could just use it just wants an email address and a postcode. So any postcode in the UK will work, and it is free. So it won't be asking. If you find something that's asking you for something, some kind of subscription, you can just close that window because it's not meaningful. You don't have to do them, but you know they always want. So let's see if we can figure out how to make the perfect cup of tea.
Let's have a nice cup of tea. It's not that simple though. What is a nice cup of tea? Are you a milk in first person? Do you dunk? Porcelain teacup with your little finger stuck out? Or a chunky mug? Indian, China, Earl Grey, Lapsang Souchong? No, this is supposed to be relaxing. Let's approach it scientifically. Firstly, a question that has baffled humanity for millennia. How come sometimes you can get a perfect cup of tea first thing in the morning, and sometimes it just tastes a bit flat? Science says it's because you didn't let the cold water run. That water's been sat in the pipes for 10 hours. You need fresh, sparkling water for a cup of tea that leaves you fresh and sparkling too. So let the water run for a minute before you fill the kettle, and you can have a shouting match with John Humphreys. Pot or bag? Oh, pot, always. And loose leaf tea? The tea leaves need room to wiggle around, you see. Warm the pot first, pot to the kettle, not the other way round. Boiling water, not just off the boil, please. And a china teapot. Give it a quick stir. 4 minutes to brew. Lovely. Oh, now the big one. Should I put the milk in first? Should I be a pre or post-lactarian? According to George Orwell, never ever put the milk in first. It lowers the temperature of the tea straight away and makes it lose flavour. Fortnum and Mason say milk in second too. And Evelyn Waugh used milk in first as a term of abuse to mean someone a bit, well, you know, common. Actually, people used to put milk in first to deliberately cool the tea down in case it cracked a fragile cup. Not much chance of that in a sturdy builder's mug. And one last thing. Why does tea on trains always taste disgusting? Science again, because they make it with the coffee machine. Coffee machines operate at 92 degrees, which is just not hot enough to get a proper chuffing cuppa. You need boiling water to get those leaves leaping. And leaving the tea bag in, well, that is fine if you like a mouthful of foamy scum. But it's big business, you know, a nice cup of tea. We drink 165 million cups of the stuff every day. More than a quarter of all the milk consumed in the UK goes in tea. Not just the 1 cup, obviously. China has 80 million tea growers, India has around 1 million permanent tea workers and double the number of seasonal tea labourers, while in Kenya, tea supports the livelihood of an estimated 3 million people. But back to Blighty. What is the perfect cup of tea? What can we agree on? Not too hot, not too sweet, not too weak, not too strong, not too much milk, not a drop spilled in the saucer. That's what Bertie Wooster reckons, and you know what a stickler he is. Now, shall I be mother?
Right. So, I know. Hopefully, you've learned a bit about making a nice cup of tea. So the question is, how do you make a cup of tea? Sometimes it's very interesting to describe the smallest of processes. First thing you do when you make a cup of tea. Answers out loud or in the chat, I don't care. It's the first thing you do when you make a cup of tea. I know what I do first. The first thing I do is decide what cup do I feel like using today? Do I need a big cup or something quite small? Okay. Um, if you don't, what do you drink if you don't drink a cup of tea? So you could say that, aha, very good. So you can just, now let's see if you can describe how you prepare coffee. Ali, excellent. You get the water boiling first. Oh, very good. A big cup of tea and no milk. Excellent. Usually. Very good. Excellent. I have to say, as much as our BBC speaker there would say, I don't usually make a pot of tea, only a cup. Do you like a big fat cup with a thick edge that keeps it hot for hours? Or do you like a very thin cup? Ahmed, what do you do when you prepare coffee? What do you do first? Do you like black tea or herbal tea? Well described, Mohammed. I like that. You've got the steps in there. Very good. Well done, Wilfred. So we've all got, okay, a couple of, Ali, Wilfred, you've got the water boiling. What are you doing next? So we're talking about how do we make a cup of tea? And very good, Ali. Well done. You add the boiling water, and there you are. Here you are. The tea will be ready in a minute. It's either in a minute or in a few minutes. Well done. Excellent. Good job. It's a really good exercise just to break apart tiny things um, ordinary things that we don't think about, that we do automatically, and break them into tiny steps. Like, how do you make a cup of tea? How do you write a letter? Do you send an email? Write a text? Um, Here's a few more. How do you open a door? Very good. So, see if you can write a process in. Okay, so we could go back up here and we've got some really good. We put the water on to boil. That seems to be our first step. And then, there we go. I use a cup. Excellent. Ahmed, I really like your description of how you put the coffee together. Very good. So we've got some tea descriptions. Very good. Our tea bag and the pot. Excellent. I do like it when I've got someone round for a cup of tea because then I do make a pot. Oh, but how do you get the door open? Let's think about that. How do you open the door? Is it magic? You just unlock the locks and then it. What happens? Think about the small steps of the process. You reach out your hand, and what do you grasp? What do you grab onto? There. Unlock the door. That's a whole nother thing. How do you unlock a door? So if I were going to do this, add more into this, it would be take the key from your pocket and insert it into the lock and burn. There's one too many ands in there. We can put a comma instead. There we go. There we go. Now we've unlocked the door. Okay. Mhm. So do you see what I mean? We can break things down to very tiny steps, and it's a chance to use a lot of interesting language. Here's the wrist. Okay, this is my wrist. Why would I need to? Oh, turn your wrist. You guys can feel free to turn your microphones on. You're welcome to talk if it's easier. We can have a conversation in this part. Oh, the door handle. Or very good. Handle. That's all right. Okay. You can then. Woo. Turn the door handle. And what do you do next? Once you've turned the handle, yes, you will either pull it inward or push it outward. Very good. And Ali, you've got the right directions. You've got it's more complicated than you think. If you pretend you're telling it to someone who's never seen a door before. Excellent. Excellent. So for those of you who've just come in, we've watched a video on how to make a cup of tea, and now we're talking about how to describe tiny actions. Oops. Okay. Oh, why does it always do this? Sorry, I've made a mess of the screen again. Delete. There we go. Now I can move mine upwards so we can see it all. There we go. So there we go. We've got a good description of how to open a door. Excellent. How about how do you put on a hat? Can you describe how to put on a hat? Can you describe how to put on a hat? Hello, everyone. Welcome for those of you who've come in late. It's great. I'm so glad to see you all here. Right. What are we doing? Excellent. Lots of good people here. All right. So, does anyone have an idea of how to put on a hat? What's the first thing? So, remember with the cup of tea or coffee, the first thing we did was boil the water. I think we all agreed boiling the water was the most important thing. So, what's the first thing you have to do to put a hat on? Very good, Wilfred. That's excellent. So, you take the hat. I like my hand, raise it up on my head, and put it on my head. Well done. Well done. Good job. So it's fun to think about describing very, very small things when you can't think of anything else to write or anything to think about. It's a good thing to do. All right. Well done. Good job, Ali. You've got the hat on your head. Is anyone else getting their hat on their head? Well done. Okay. So think about it. Maybe describe. See if you can. Maybe you can teach someone how to walk. Can you describe how to walk as well? Excellent, Nancy. Very good. Yes, I like my ears covered completely too, especially when it's windy. So excellent. All right. So think about it. Think about describing how to walk. What is the process of walking? We don't think about it because we do it so much. So this is just a little exercise to think about describing tiny little things. Ooh, Mama, but do you move them both at the same time? Very good, Steve. I see you've got your hat on your head. Yes, but you're moving your feet. Which one? Which foot? Both feet at the same time? I just moved my feet forward. Let's see. I move my right foot and then I move my left foot. Very good, Wilfred. Yes. Very good. All right. So, um, good job. It's think about the things you do every day. Very good, Ellie. Uh, but we lift one foot and we lean forward slightly and we fall onto that foot and then we pick up the one behind. There's lots of ways to think about walking. Think about the mechanics of it. How does it work? So, very good. Right. Well, so what are we going to do? Um, let's look at the future. So we've got lots of tenses that we've worked on over the last weeks. We have looked at the present. We've looked at conditionals, what we want, what we can and what we can't do, what we want to do, what we don't like, wouldn't and would. But what about the future? What do we use to talk about the future? Well, there's a bunch of things that happen in the future. First thing we do is we talk about plans. Yes. And that's we come in with the present continuous, which we've already talked about. And yes, that is our first way of talking about plans. Oh, really good, Steve. I like that one very much. Mhm. All right. So, if we've got fixed plans in the future, we know what our plans are, we know exactly what we're going to be doing, then we use either the present continuous or the future simple, right? So, she is painting a picture this afternoon. So, there's our present continuous. We know exactly what she's going to be doing and when, right? But we can also use the future simple, and that's just using will plus the infinitive. He will go to the library tomorrow morning. Notice there's always a time involved. We usually like to talk about, yes, intentions as well. So we will go to the library tomorrow morning. It's a fixed plan. We know when it is, so it's will plus the infinitive. I will cook something for lunch later on today. So for loose plans or intentions, we use going to. We talk about things we are going to do. All right. I am going to drive to uh, Scotland in a couple of weeks or a week or two. I'm not sure when. It's a loose plan. It's an intention. It will probably happen. And so we use to be, so I am, and then we use going to plus the infinitive. All right, so this construction there. We also talk about the future, we use um, predictions about the plans that we're going to do. So, what will we do? We will probably watch a film. So, once again, we've got will and the infinitive, but we've also got probably. We could also say possibly or might. We might watch a film together. Oh, wait a minute. Might is where we go into speculation. So we're predicting what probably will happen. All right. But the possibility, we're saying what is possible. So they might build a colony on Mars. You can decide whether you think it's likely or not. I might have another cup of tea. Now, that one might be very likely. But we're talking about the possibility, not something set. All right. So, once again, we've got might plus the infinitive. This one's very simple. Might or may and the infinitive. Build. Right. So, here's a couple of them. Let's see if we can use them. All right. So let's look at this first one. So if we know exactly what we're going to do,
I'm
which form
cooking.
do
I'm
I'm sorry?
cooking. I'm cooking. Or
Yes.
I will cook.
Yep. I am cooking. Yes. So we can use I am cooking dinner tonight. What's the other way that we can talk about a definite plan?
I will cook.
I will cook. Yeah, exactly. I will cook. How about something that is a prediction?
I will probably.
Yep. So a loose plan, then a prediction. Okay. Um,
I'm going to cook.
yep. Going to. There we go. So these are all of the. There we go. And then we've got the prediction. So we've got the prediction, the possibility, and the speculation.
Can we say probably is a chance of above 50%, but might is under 50%?
Yes, exactly. Yes, very much, very much so.
Jane, can we also use probably if we don't use well? It will still have the same meaning or no?
I probably no. You're going to need the word "will" in there either way, because I probably will do this. Even if I put probably, you can swap the place of probably and will. Generally, it would be I will probably.
Can we say I will definitely?
Oh, yes.
I will definitely.
That also, of course, turns it back into one of those fixed plans. I will definitely cook dinner tonight. Very good. But it stops being speculation then. So that's another way of saying fixed. What about certainly? Same as definitely. It describes a level of probability. So let's think about that. Okay, so we've got words that we can just look at that for a second. Oops. Insert text box. There we go. So we've got probably. Oops. Yeah. Probably. Possibly. Maybe. Or might. Okay, those. So probably is more certain, possibly less certain, maybe even less certain, and might very completely speculative.
Yes.
All right. So if we want to go up in certainty, we could say
Certainly, definitely,
certainly, exactly.
or exactly.
Positively.
Possibly. Yeah.
Positively. So that gives us our degree of certainty. And those can so degree of certainty. There we go. And I'm going to put in an arrow if I can. Let me see if I can do this. Oops. Yeah, there we go. All right. Done. Yeah. Anyway, so I'll put it in an arrow afterwards so that you don't have to watch me fiddle around with the screen. So that when you download this, there'll be an arrow here saying, so we've got the least to the most. Right. So there we go. So we can use all of these forms on any of these. Well, except maybe this one. Yes, she will probably arrive late as usual. I think I've got a few friends in the circus world who are quite like that. We will probably not forget to pick you up. Don't worry. Well, we certainly will not forget to pick you up. Now we're definitely sure you don't have to worry. I will not forget to pick you up. Definitely. So, there we go. So I hope these make any questions on these and our range of possibilities. Okay. So let's look at a few more tenses. Actually, let's do some practice. Are your plans fixed, loose, predictable, or possible? What are your plans for this evening? Can you use one of these forms? What are your plans for this evening? Can you write a sentence in the chat? Very good, Wilfred. Excellent. Very good. Excellent. Extra chat box for these. Like that. Excellent. Yep. There we go. Very good. Those are good examples. All right. How about your plans for this weekend? How about your plans for this weekend? That's further away. Are they fixed, loose, predictable, or possible? Excellent. Sure. There we go. I'm probably, oh, very nice. Yep. Excellent. Excellent. There we go. And yes, exactly. Excellent. Good job, everyone. Really good use of the language. Okay, how about plans for next summer? Very good. Um, yeah, I totally meant to turn that upside down. There we go. Who else have we got? Anyone else have ideas of what they might do next summer? Oh, that's a very good one. Really nice use of the present continuous. Am planning. Very good. Very good. Really good. Good job, everyone. Okay, so I think you've got this idea of different ways of talking about our plans for the future. Well done. Well done. So let's carry on with a few more tenses. Oh, well, that's nice. I'll make sure I include that one too. Right. So let's look at another tense. One more for describing the future. So the future perfect describes things that will be completed in the future. So isn't that funny? We've got a past participle in the middle of talking about the future. We do You can think about all of the tenses in English as happening on a timeline. And so when we describe the future, we're putting our focus out into the future and looking backwards to now. So that's why we can talk about what will have happened. So by the end of this class, you will have learned future tenses. Let's try an exercise. So we've got will, you will have, and then the past participle learned. Okay, you will have learned. Okay, so let's see if we can use this. All right. Yay! Very good. Excellent. You will have gotten your IELTS certificate by next summer. Good job. Right. So here we go. Future perfect. In the negative, it's won't, as opposed to will. Will not becomes won't. Right. So, very well. Oh, let that get over there. That's supposed to be over there. There we go. There we go. Right. So, how about, so we've got Mary and we've got will not or won't and have and the past participle left. Okay. Yes, she will have achieved. Exactly. We need that past participle form of achieve. So good job. I will have made. Very good. Excellent. And they will have finished. Exactly. No capital in the middle of the sentence. Very good. Really good. Good job, Steve. Good job, everyone. Excellent. Is that clear? All right. Any questions? Good. All right, let's carry on. We've got more future to explore. To be. Not I think you'd have to work out a sentence and I can tell you if that's correct or not, because I don't think you can say I will have been. So we can use to be in that sense. You can say I can say I will by next June I will have been in London for 25 years. So in that sense, you can use to be. All right. You can say I will have been. Okay. Let's look at one more complication, the future perfect continuous. I will have, so we've got the will have been, we've got the will and the have, but now we're adding been. And then ing form, so our continuous form. by the end of this class, you will have been listening to me for an hour. Okay, will have been listening. So will have been. Okay, so we could take that one that the one about that I just wrote and say, by next June, I will have been living in London for 25 years. Okay. So what I'm saying, so is it ended? Is this something that has completed? There's no completion here. I will have been living in
It's
London.
an
Which one?
ongoing event.
Exactly. So the future perfect is something that will have ended in the future. And the future perfect continuous is something that will not have ended in the future. Okay. Let's see if we can write some of these. So here's our example. By 10 a.m., what will have happened? Study English for 2 hours. And here's our solution. We've got will. They've made a conjunction out of the have been. Will have been studying. Okay. Is the person possibly still studying? Yes. We don't know whether it's ended or not. Likely it hasn't. If it's over, we would say by 10 a.m., I will have studied English for 2 hours. There. Great. Yes. By the time I get there, they will have been waiting. Exactly. Will have been waiting. Really good. Really good. Try the next one. Remember, this is the continuous. There we go. You've got it. You've got it. You've got it. Very good. Very good. Yes, will have been working. Excellent. Fantastic. Great job. Okay. So, what does the future hold? By 2030, in the year 2030, how long will you have been studying English? See if you can answer any of these questions with the tenses we have learned. You're doing really good today. Really got this down. Excellent. Make sure you put the plural on the end of the word years. They are countable. Very good. Oh, for over how many years, Mohammed? 10 years. Excellent. Ali? Let's see. In um, in 2030, I will have been studying English, I'm sorry, German for, let's see, yes, for 10 years. I think I started in 2020. Very good. Is there anything else? Okay. What will you have done before the middle of tomorrow? What will you have done before midday tomorrow? By the middle of the day tomorrow, what is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Wednesday. Ah, I will have, hmm, this is a commitment, isn't it? Um, I will have sewn a costume. Very good. Good. And when will you next? Oh, all of your emails. You're very brave. Excellent. I hope it's a relaxing ritual or something that makes you feel good. Okay. By midday tomorrow, I will have done 10 minutes of yoga. Oh, very good, Steve. Excellent. Excellent. Well, well done, everyone. Really excellent work on this. Great job describing tiny things. The next time you do something or cook something or make something or walk somewhere, try and break down, try and view what you are doing in the tiniest steps possible. Very fun. And it's a great way to stimulate your use of English, in fact. Okay, so just see how close, how small, what are the smallest pieces, smallest steps you can think of to answer a text on your phone? What are all of the tiny steps that go into that? I hope that you've enjoyed that, and I hope that by the end of this class, you will have used some of this many times. All right. So I've got a few resources here. This is the English grammar for the BBC, English grammar for the British Council, and um, this is the place where I find all of those wonderful recordings of things like having a cup of tea. There's a beautiful one on how to take a walk. And so I really recommend it. Thank you. And let's come back in 5 minutes. So at 11:05, I will have a fresh cup of tea and we will start our micro IELTS. So we're going to do a teeny tiny version of the whole exam. All right. So brace yourselves, get a cup of tea or coffee, and I'll see you back in 5 minutes. Thanks so much for your hard work. Yeah, is this everybody? Here we go. Okay, so welcome back to the second half of our class today. And today we're featuring a mini, micro, teeny tiny example of the IELTS. Hopefully it will go very well and it will show you where you need to work. So let's look at this and see how we go. Today we will take a very, that's not exactly accurate, take a very short version of the IELTS. We're going to do some listening, some reading, some writing. We're just going to do the planning on that part. And we're going to watch some of those sample speaking exams. Hopefully that will help you understand all of the things that I've been saying about the exam and how to focus your attention to really make sure you get the marks you need. So let's get started. Is everyone here? Do give me a shout in the chat. Make sure I know you're here. Yay! Thank you. Excellent. Nazi, I hope you're here. Yes, Sala, great. Is Steve still here? Hello. Malka, excellent. Fantastic. Lovely. Hello. Yay. That makes me happy knowing everyone's here. So let's see. Good. Right. So off we go. Before we start, I just want to make sure that we all take a big, slow, deep breath. Okay. A big, slow, deep breath. All right. So what we're going to do now is go through the exam the way that it will be, the way you will experience it. All right. So when you go in, you will have the listening, the reading, and the writing in that order. It's roughly 3 hours. A couple of things you need to be sure of. Make sure you take a bottle of water, but take the label off the bottle. So you can't have anything with writing on it. But if you take the label off the bottle, you can take in a bottle of water. Take pencils and paper. If they don't allow you to keep the paper, then they have to supply some paper for you to take notes while you're working. All right. And prepare to wait. It is a long wait. So make sure you have a really good breakfast. This is the day to make sure you have something with some protein in it, like some tofu or an egg or whatever you like for breakfast. Make sure you've got good brain food. So, because it will be a long test. So, with those preparations, let's listen to 3 samples of the listening exam. All right. So, got your listening ears on. Big deep breath. And remember, you're always listening for the next answer. Everything will be in order. So,
Test 1. You will hear a number of different recordings, and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet. Now turn to Section 1. Section 1. You will hear a conversation between a clerk at the inquiries desk of a transport company and a man who is asking for travel information. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5. You will see that there is an example that has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
Good morning, Travel Link. How can I help you?
Good morning. I live in Bayswater and I'd like to get to Harbour City tomorrow before 11 a.m.
Well, to get to Bayswater...
No, I live in Bayswater. My destination is Harbour City.
Oh, sorry, right. So that's Bayswater to Harbour City. Are you planning to travel by bus or train?
The man wants to go to Harbour City, so Harbour City has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Good morning, Travel Link. How can I help you?
Good morning. I live in Bayswater and I'd like to get to Harbour City tomorrow before 11 a.m.
Well, to get to Bayswater...
No, I live in Bayswater. My destination is Harbour City.
Oh, sorry. Right, so that's Bayswater to Harbour City. Are you planning to travel by bus or train?
I don't mind, really. Whichever option is faster, I suppose.
Well, if you catch a railway express, that'll get you there in under an hour. Let's see. Yes, if you can make the 9:30 a.m. express, I'd recommend you do that.
Great. Which station does that leave from?
Helendale is the nearest train station to you.
Did you say Helensvale?
No, Helendale. That's Helendale.
What's the best way to get to the Helendale station then?
Well, hang on a minute while I look into that. Now, it seems to me that you have two options. Option 1 would be to take the 7:06 bus from the Bayswater Shopping Centre to Central Street. When you get there, you transfer to another bus which will take you to the station. Or the second option, if you don't mind walking a couple of kilometres, is to go directly to Central Street and get straight on the bus going to the train station.
OK, which bus is that?
The 792 will take you to the station.
I guess the walk will be good for me, so that might be the better option. What time do I catch the 792?
There are two buses that should get you to the station on time, one just before 9 o'clock and one just after. But look, at that time of the morning it might be better to take the earlier one, just in case there's a traffic jam or something. The 8:55 is probably safer than the 9:05.
Yeah, I don't want to miss the train, so I'll be sure to get on the 5 to 9 bus.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation,
Very good. All right. Now we're going to go on to the next section.
Section 2. You will hear a guidance counsellor talking to a group of students. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 14. Listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 14.
Hello everyone. I'm the Counselling Administrator here at St Ives College, and I've been asked to come and talk to you about our counselling team and the services that we offer. We have 3 professional counsellors here at St Ives: Louise Bagshaw, Tony Denby and Naomi Flynn. They each hold daily one-on-one sessions with students, but which counsellor you see will depend on a number of factors. If you've never used a counsellor before, then you should make an appointment with Naomi Flynn. Naomi specialises in seeing new students and offers a preliminary session where she will talk to you about what you can expect from counselling, followed by some simple questions about what you would like to discuss. This can be really helpful for students who are feeling a bit worried about the counselling process. Naomi is also the best option for students who can only see a counsellor outside office hours. She is not in on Mondays, but starts early on Wednesday mornings and works late on Thursday evenings, so you can see her before your first class or after your last class on those days. Louise staffs our drop-in centre throughout the day. If you need to see someone without a prior appointment, then she is the one to visit. Please note that if you use this service, then Louise will either see you herself or place you with the next available counsellor. If you want to be sure to see the same counsellor on each visit, then we strongly recommend you make an appointment ahead of time. You can do this at reception during office hours or by using our online booking form. Tony is our newest addition to the counselling team. He is our only male counsellor, and he has an extensive background in stress management and relaxation techniques. We encourage anyone who is trying to deal with anxiety to see him. Tony will introduce you to a full range of techniques to help you cope with this problem, such as body awareness, time management, and positive reinforcement.
Before you hear the rest of the talk,
Right. Next section.
Section 4. You will hear a talk on the topic of time perspectives. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Today, I'm going to be talking about time. Specifically, I'll be looking at how people think about time and how these time perspectives structure our lives. According to social psychologists, there are 6 ways of thinking about time, which are called personal time zones. The first 2 are based in the past. Past positive thinkers spend most of their time in a state of nostalgia, fondly remembering moments such as birthdays, marriages, and important achievements in their life. These are the kinds of people who keep family records, books, and photo albums. People living in the past negative time zone are also absorbed by earlier times, but they focus on all the bad things, regrets, failures, poor decisions. They spend a lot of time thinking about how life could have been. Then, we have people who live in the present. Present hedonists are driven by pleasure and immediate sensation. Their life motto is to have a good time and avoid pain. Present fatalists live in the moment too, but they believe this moment is the product of circumstances entirely beyond their control. It's their fate, whether it's poverty, religion, or society itself. Something stops these people from believing they can play a role in changing their outcomes in life. Life simply is, and that's that. Looking at the future time zone, we can see that people classified as future active are the planners and go-getters. They work rather than play and resist temptation. Decisions are made based on potential consequences, not on the experience itself. A second future-orientated perspective, future fatalistic, is driven by the certainty of life after death and some kind of a judgment day when they will be assessed on how virtuously they have lived and what success they have had in their lives. Okay, let's move on. You might ask, how do these time zones affect our lives?
Okay, that is our tiny listening exam. I'm going to go back through now and show you the answers so you can check your answers. Right? So, did you get it right? I saw lots of correct answers in the chat. Thank you. Okay, so that was our transport from Bayswater. I wanted to show you the difference between the listening for detail versus the listening for concepts. All right. Because we didn't get that opportunity when we first covered it. Well, please, yes. Corinne, you're welcome to do that as well. Let me just cover the this and we'll take a break. So, let's see, who were our counselors? So, the counselor that's your first time counselor was Naomi. She also does the out of office hours cover. Louise Bagshaw is the one for an appointment who mans the drop-in clinic, and Tony is our anxiety specialist. Okay, so I'm going to give you a link to the file that's got all of this in it so you can listen to it again. And of course, you can always replay this recording. So, and our last one, this is the hard one. I wanted to give you a chance to listen to the highest level of these. So here we go. And here's our single words. Notice it says, right, only one word, right? Only one word. So positive, that one was an easy one to guess that it would be negative. Hedonistic means pleasure seeking. And if you heard it, you got it. These were the challenging ones. Right. Fatalistic is that shouldn't be poverty. That should be fate. There we go. I don't know why they had that wrong. By fate, religious beliefs or social conditions. That's what fatalistic means. And let's see. Remember the future active and then success in life. All right. So off we go. Let's try the reading. We've got 2 samples. Now I'm not able to upload these in the as a file. That seems to not be working from my desk. So we're going to have to figure out how to do this. I've got the questions on screen, but I think what I'll do is add the reading samples to the chat. It's huge. Okay, so I think I'm going to pause there we go. Let me pause that for a minute. So this is a long passage. What are we going to read first? Somebody tell me what we're going to read first. Yes, you've got it, Mohammed. Thank you. You've got it. That's right. We're going to read the questions first. Excellent. Thank you. All right. Here is the first passage. Hopefully that works. For now. Is that too big? I'm trying to make it go. Okay, I may need to do it one. This isn't that good. Okay. Great. Let's see if this. Okay, let me see if that works. There we go. There's the first paragraph. And second paragraph. And the third paragraph. There we go. But none of that makes any sense, and there's no time to read it. No reason to read it until I give you the questions. So there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 5 minutes. I know, it's crazy. 5 minutes to answer 4 questions. So see how you can do it. Okay, I'm going to give you longer than that. So you've got the rhythm share. There we go. So here are the questions. Read them carefully and then use the things that the text that I've put in the chat to answer them. Oh, crikey. That's the wrong one. No, no, you've all right, we'll start the timing over because I've just put in um the wrong set. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's try the other excerpt. Sorry. Is that again? And let me pull up the correct one. How did that happen? I thought I had the right one. Sorry. I was hoping to be able to give you the entire. Yep, I just gave you the wrong one. Sorry. Here's the first half. Okay, there we go. There's the first half and the last bit. Okay. All right. Well done for catching that. Uh, and our new time starts now. Okay. 5 minutes starting now. Right. 2 more minutes. Yeah, I will. Excellent. Okay, well done. Now we're going to move on to the second document today. I will re-upload it because of the challenges that we had. So I'm going to copy this and paste it. Sorry about that, putting the wrong one up at beginning. Thank heavens it was caught. Um, um, so here are the three pieces of the second document for today. We're just doing these two documents. And now, here are the questions for that one. After we've done both of these, so another 5 minutes, and then afterwards we'll go over the answers for both. So you have 5 minutes starting now. Or you can see them in the chat. Let me know if you have any difficulty. Okay. And that completes our micro reading test. Now, the one thing I also want to remind you is that in the reading and in the listening, you do not have to get every question correct. Remember, some of those questions are written for Band 8 and Band 9. All right. So unless you are certain that you've got a Band 9 in your pocket, then you have to relax and let go of questions that you simply don't understand. All right. So here's our reading examples. So on this one, the answers were C. So we had the 722. I saw several people had that correct. And C again, exercise before breakfast. Okay. B, taking supplements at breakfast was not suggested as a way to improve it. And A, the best time to stop drinking coffee is the mid-afternoon. They actually said around 3:30, didn't they? Or 3 o'clock. So those are the answers for the first one. For the second one, this one was the hardest. I will not deny it. So, giving up short-term happiness for future gains. That is the only human capabilities in that last paragraph. How about the 15, maintaining bodily functions necessary for life? Did you find that? Did you notice that that was A, the reptilian cortex? All right. Sustains the elementary activities of animal survival, such as respiration, rest, and a beating heart rate. Bodily functions. 16 and 17, experiencing the pain of losing another and forming communities and social groups. You'll find both of those in the limbic cortex, that second one. They start by talking about the anguish of dolphins and elephants who have, yes, elephant mourning. That was your clue. Excellent. And the social groups. So well done. Good job. Okay, so writing. We're going to run out of time. So what I really want you to do is to create 2 plans. All right. So create 2 plans. We're not going to do this right now because I hope that you will take 10 minutes to do this later because I want to get on to the speaking. You have an opportunity. So I've given you a practice exam for the writing. I was hoping I could cram this into 1 hour, but it's not possible. So you're going to have to use these afterwards. So please use the PDF, look at these, write your answers, write your plan, and then I want you to compare that to the sample answers that will be in a separate PDF. Okay? So I'm going to send you a sample response from this one and a sample response from this task 2 questions. Your challenge is to write the most complete plan you possibly can and see if you find all the same points that they do in the sample answer. All right. Practicing the planning is the most important part. If you can get that down, your writing will follow and you'll be okay. All right. But let's move on to the speaking because a couple of things. You've got an opportunity, and I'm going to talk about this right now, so it's not at the end. You've got an opportunity to do a little speaking. All right, I'm going to stop sharing for just a second so you can see my face. So next week, you have a chance to do some speaking practice. All right, this is your task, the part 2, speaking practice. So think about it. Any story you want to tell, something that's an issue that's important to you, or one of the sample topics that I will send you in the PDF that I send you at the end of this class. Okay, so either take a topic from a sample that you want to talk about, or some idea that you want to talk about, and try putting together a 2 minute, 2 to 5 minute presentation on that. We call it a presentation, but what's the best way to do a presentation? What is the best way to respond to task 2? Remember in the speaking? Can you remember what's the thing to focus on? Yep, you definitely want to make notes, but you also want to make it personal. And you want to tell a story. Okay. So think of something, an issue, something that's happened, maybe something simple. Maybe you want to describe how to make the perfect cup of tea. Okay. It can be anything, but please do. It's a great opportunity to practice speaking, to just have the experience in the safest environment possible, because we are all cheering for you. We all are, because we're all hoping to just get better at things. So you'll have the most supportive audience ever. And it's an opportunity to give a short talk. You can put it on your CV or your university application afterwards that you gave a talk at our at Olive Online. All right, so it's something to build. It's really something for you. Okay, so do please tell a story. You'll be contacted about this. I'm sure you'll get emails about it. So please do. It's a great opportunity. Seize it. I'm sorry that you'll have to practice the plans for the writing separately, because I think the speaking is really important right now. If you send them to me, you've got my email address, you've got the WhatsApp group, right? So there's lots of ways to get things to me. You've also got the storyboard. I still look at the Padlets regularly, so you can always put something there as well. So do send me your plans and check your plans with me. All right, so use these prompts and do that. Meanwhile, I would like for you to listen to 3 people responding to the 3rd section of the speaking exam. And I want you to guess the band level. Okay, so here's the question. We're going to look at these people, and I want you to try and tell me what the band level is. Okay, so there we go. We're going to start with this person. There we go. And let me wind this back. And when we've looked at all 3 of them, we're going to talk about a couple of things. Remember, I'm going to tell you in advance, there's one thing I want you to listen for as well as their level, and that is, when is the examiner helping them? When is she helping them? Listen for that. Okay. There we go. Oops. No, that's.
Tina, now I'm going to give you a topic and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you will have 1 minute to think about.
I'm sorry that it went to the wrong one. Let me just find. There we are. I was trying to make it go to the beginning and it didn't do it. There. All right.
Now,
There
we've
we
been
go.
talking about a well-known person you like or admire, and I'd like to discuss with you 1 or 2 more general questions related to this. Let's consider, first of all, famous people in your country. So in Germany, what kind of people are famous?
Mostly sports people, I would say. Like, our favorite sport is soccer, so yeah, people who play this sport. Famous as well are politicians, but they are not admired or they're not liked or anything
So there's
like
a
that.
difference between being famous and being admired.
I think so, I definitely think so, yeah.
And politicians are only famous.
They are only famous because it's easy to blame them for everything what happens. At the moment we have the financial crisis in Europe, especially Greece and Ireland really have to suffer at the moment. And yeah, it's easy to blame something. You can't blame a soccer player, but it's easy to blame the politicians.
How about movie stars? Are they also famous in Germany?
Yeah, they are also famous, but not the German movie stars or music stars. We don't have a big, a big branch of this. More, American, mostly U.S. American movie stars. But it's hard to, it's hard to think that they are our role models, anything like that. They're living on the other side of the lake and yeah, they're just in the television.
What about in the past? What kinds of people were famous in the past?
Especially in the 70s, 60s, I would say musicians. Because, of this freedom, of this lifestyle we had there. Yeah, these musicians who lived this.
And how about the future? Can you give me a prediction for the future?
Definitely not bankers.
Not bankers.
Yeah, because of the financial crisis again. Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe people who serve the planet and who wants to save the planet, work for this, so environmentally people, would be quite likely because we have this theme of global warming at the moment. It's well discussed, and so I would say this could be likely.
Now let's talk about celebrity culture. Often famous people are used in advertisements. Can you give me some examples of that?
I don't watch a lot of television, but television or see advertisements, can't give many examples actually.
Well, how about for instead of for products, how about celebrities being involved in advertising for causes or charities? Have you seen examples of that?
Yeah, sometimes like for environmentally things. I can't name any celebrities, but it's quite often that they use this image. A celebrity has done something in his life and many people admire him for the one or the other reason. So it's quite a good thing that they use a celebrity because he as a role model stands for something, and he stands for the environment or maybe for a product. So the people who admire him wants to buy this product, wants to do something for the environment.
Now let's change to the negatives. What kind of possible negative effects might a celebrity have on younger generations?
Yeah, as I said, they are role models for many people. And this rugby star who was in the television the last weeks and months go on the wrong path and taking drugs or just living the wrong lifestyle, then the young people think, hey, it's cool what he's doing. So he's famous, he has money, he's taking drugs, so hey, that fits together. I want to do the same.
So you think that his behavior actually can influence how younger generations choose to lead their lives?
I definitely think so, yeah.
So do you think that a celebrity has a moral responsibility to behave in a better manner in public?
As long as he is famous, as he is in everyday life, he definitely has. He's not only the normal person. If he is at home, it's okay what he's doing. I don't care. But at the moment, the very moment he goes public or is on television or in the newspapers, he definitely has a responsibility because millions of people are watching what he is doing.
So would you say that there's an obligation, that a person who becomes famous, they have an obligation to behave in a more ethical or moral manner?
Yeah, and if he can't stand this pressure, then yeah, he should take care that he's not being famous somehow. I don't know whether it's possible somehow, but yeah, there is this obligation definitely.
Well, thank you very much. That's the end of the speaking test.
Thank you.
Right. So what did you think of that one? What band level would you think he was? Yes, exactly. And the thing that she did, first of all, yes, you got it right, it's band 7. The thing, remember when he said, I don't actually watch advertisements. What did she do? She asked if there were any environmental promotions that, so they really help. They really work to help you expand your language. That's their job. Okay. Oh, yes. Right. So there's that. Let me just check something real quick. Close this for a second. Okay, Gabrielle. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. And then I'll resume in a second. Let me see if I can find this one. Don't have his. Okay. So let's take a look at a couple more. Oh gosh, no, we've run out of time, haven't we? Okay. I will leave you links to all of this. I've got links to this website because I have indeed run out of time, as usual. So let me just go back to, whoops, there we go. There we are. The speaking test samples, and I will pop this
Now,
into
we've
the
been
chat.
talking about a well-known person you like or admire, and I
Stop. Oh, YouTube. Ah. All right. So what I really want is just that. Oh, goodness. So I can copy this link and put it in the chat. There we go. So this is the link to all of these samples. It's really worth following up on this and listening to as many as you can. I've got some of the examples of their assessments in the PDF of this that you will receive. They also have some good, stop that. If you scroll down and expand this, you will see that they talk about exactly what is wrong and right about their response. Okay, so there's a good analysis of it as well. So, and breathe. Big deep breath. I know it seems very, even in this short form, it seems very compact and very mushed together. I know it's challenging. Um, so, but you can do it. And the thing is, the more you practice, the easier it will get. So once again, I'm going to make sure that you've got all the links that you need. We've got, I've got a, stop sharing for now. There we go. I've got the, yeah, there we go. I'll just do that later on. Okay. So all of these things are in the drive that I gave you a link to at the beginning of the class. Thank you immensely. You've been fabulous. You work so hard. Keep up with it. If you haven't gotten into the into the WhatsApp group yet, let me just throw you a link to it right now, but I also, if you put in the chat or send me an email, I will definitely get you into the group. So I'm going to send in group info. That's it. And media links. There we go. No media. Wait a minute. Start. Encryption. Group permissions. Yeah. No. Okay. Okay. No, I can't find it. I will make sure that if you send me a note, there we go. If you send me a note, I will get you in the group. Don't worry. Yes, I will start doing writing evaluations this week. So thank you very much for that. Send me do send me writing, and I've got this week marked off. I'm going to start getting back to people on writing. You can send me an email there. And so if you have sent, okay. So I'm going to stop the recording and thank everyone for joining me, and wish you all the best of